Welcome to Healthy and Wealthy Conversations, where we discuss everything that leads to health and wellness for your whole spirit, soul, mind, and body. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Healthy and Wealthy Conversations. I am your host, Casey Bell, and today's guest is Gabbi Berkow. Let's get the show started. So first question I have for you today is describe first, because you are a registered dietitian, first describe to people what the word diet actually means, because most people don't know. And most people don't know they don't know.
That's a great question, Casey, and thank you so much for having me on your YouTube channel today. So diet is often associated with a negative context, or when people hear the word diet, they think it means, oh, this really strict eating regimen that's going to, make me cut out, an entire food group, probably carbs, so I can lose weight fast. Diet doesn't really mean that. What a diet really is just your way of eating. If you've had a vegan diet or a paleo diet, that just means you follow, or a healthy diet, that means you follow that style of eating. So the word diet doesn't necessarily have to have a negative connotation. It really just depends on what the goal of that style of eating is. If you're on a keto diet and you go keto to lose weight, then it is a diet, which is short term, and they really don't work for lasting lifestyle changes, long-term results. But if you're following a vegan diet for health purposes and not just for the purpose of weight loss, then it's just really a style of eating. So it really depends on the context.
Okay. Describe to us your background as a registered dietitian, how you became one, and things like that nature.
Sure. So I am in this field 100% because of personal struggles. I struggled with food and weight and body image and diets and eating and exercise for my entire life. I've been a dancer since I was 3 years old. I still dance. So I grew up in an environment that promoted thinness and, looking in the mirror and critiquing your body. I also have a family history of eating disorders. Thinness was very much promoted in my family growing up, and I didn't have the ideal anatomy for ballet. So my body was always a struggle for me in that sense. I also have scoliosis, which made proper dance technique more difficult. I started developing kind of struggles with food and weight when I was in high school, and I went through something called the female athlete triad, which is a combination of not eating enough to fuel your activity level, which for me was dance, which leads to loss of the menstrual cycle, which leads to low bone mass. So that had a lot of repercussions for me, and I was diagnosed with osteopenia, or low bone mass, the precursor to osteoporosis, at a young age. As a result of that, I started developing issues with binge eating in response to stress in college, and then kind of all that culminated in an eating disorder called exercise bulimia. I was going through exercise bulimia while I was pursuing my master's in exercise physiology at Columbia University. My struggles in dance, or my struggles with my body in dance growing up, made me interested in fitness and conditioning. I did 2 years of private lessons in Alexander technique, which is a system of postural retraining and reforming your movement habits and patterns. I did 2 years of private lessons in that for my scoliosis. And right after that, when I was about 16, I started Pilates. I've been doing Pilates every day ever since, for my core and my back. So that's how I got interested in fitness and how the human body worked. And then I attended Goucher College, which is a liberal arts college in Maryland, where I'm from originally. I was fortunate enough to be there on a full tuition merit scholarship. They had very strong dance and Pilates programs, in addition to strong liberal arts academic education. And my first semester at Goucher, I happened to take a special topics exercise science class. And that class really focused on how the human body worked, and we learned anatomy and physiology and how the body responded to different types of exercise and how muscles and joints works and nutrition and health and wellness and, you know, how to program exercise and the different components of a balanced fitness regimen. And that class really piqued my interest because learning about the human body helped me make sense of my own struggles in dance. As a liberal arts college, Goucher did not have a major in exercise science because it wasn't a research university. So I decided to create my own major that focused on exercise science and basically learning how the human body and mind work to promote optimal health. So I combined courses from Goucher's dance, psychology, and biology departments, and I took a lot of classes in human anatomy and physiology and biology and nutrition and chemistry and biochemistry and psychology and neuroscience and motivation and health psychology. And then I had all my dance classes and dance anatomy and kinesiology, and I was still taking my dance technique classes like ballet and modern and tap and jazz, as well as Pilates, mat and apparatus classes. So I didn't sleep much for 4 years. I did a big research project on Pilates for dancers, but that's how I got interested in exercise science and nutrition and really learning how the human body worked from my major in college. Exercise bulimia, which was kind of the culmination of my lifetime of struggles with food and weight, happened my year after college, and I was still going through it when I moved to New York for my master's in exercise physiology at Columbia University. And during that time, this was back at the start of 2012, I made a New Year's resolution to recover from the eating disorder because I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I was very fortunate to work with a wonderful dietitian during my recovery. Andrea Chernus was her name. And she was absolutely paramount in helping me become the person and the professional that I am today. She helped me recover both nutritionally, physiologically, and psychologically, and she taught me so much about getting my metabolism back on track, repleting nutrient deficiencies that I had encountered as a result of the eating disorder, and also forming more helpful thoughts around food and body image and not comparing myself to other people, kind of all the components that go into eating disorder recovery. So it was working with her that inspired me to become a registered dietitian. So after I finished with my master's in exercise physiology at Columbia, I had been working as a personal trainer and a Pilates instructor part-time at Columbia's Fitness Center while I was in school. And my clients would always ask me about nutrition, and my work with Andrea really made me want to become a registered dietitian myself. So I then went to NYU. I went to their graduate program in nutrition. I did my about 2 years of nutrition coursework and then a year-long dietetic internship, which is kind of like the equivalent of a medical residency for registered dietitians, and then took my licensing exam to become a registered dietitian, and then got my New York State nutrition license, and then got a network with all the major insurance companies in New York. I had been building my private practice while I was in school at NYU because I knew that I wanted to have a private practice that was like my dietitians, but I wanted to add exercise. I wanted to be able to help people with both nutrition and exercise because I had to see separate professionals all of my life. So I wanted to combine it into one thing for people. So I started my practice as soon as I got my license, got a network with insurance companies, and been doing it ever since. I love what I do, and I can relate personally to how hard, food and weight and sifting through all the information and everything that's online can be.
Great. So for those who don't know, what is the difference between a dietitian and a nutritionist?
That's a great question. That's a very, very common gray area. That's the difference between a registered dietitian and nutritionist is not really common knowledge. It's not really put out there, but it's a really important distinction. So a registered dietitian is a licensed nutrition professional, and a registered dietitian has gone through a set series of courses, or a series of courses designated by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, which is a national, kind of the head national nutrition organization, has completed those courses successfully, has been accepted into a dietetic internship, has completed a dietetic internship, which is about a year long and is at least 1,200 hours, and involves going around and shadowing dietitians in various sites like hospitals and private practice and community settings, and then has studied for and passed the registered dietitian exam. So registered dietitian basically means you're a licensed healthcare professional. And once you get your registered dietitian license, which is a national license, meaning you can work in any state, you can then get your state license, which is my CDN, or my Certified Dietitian Nutritionist. That's the New York State license. You can then accept health insurance. A nutritionist is an unregulated term. Basically, anyone can call themselves a nutritionist, or anyone with a nutrition background. There's no set series of courses that they have to take. They don't have to go through an internship, and they cannot accept health insurance. So nutritionist is really somebody who might have nutrition education but isn't a licensed professional, and their backgrounds can be pretty variable. And therefore their credibility can be pretty variable.
Okay, so you are a registered dietitian, and you're in New York, correct? New York City?
Yes, I'm a registered dietitian, and I have a master's in exercise physiology from Columbia. I'm also a certified personal trainer and a certified Pilates instructor. So I have a private practice that offers not only nutrition counseling and personalized nutrition plans, and nutrition recommendations, but also exercise services. I do provide personalized fitness programs for my clients that can be done right now with COVID at home or at the gym, as well as personal training and Pilates, which can be done virtually or kind of move me back to in-person if it's safe. And I do accept insurance for everything.
Okay, so if someone wanted to have a consultation with you, what exactly what would that be like?
Well, somebody can contact me or learn more about me by going to my website, which is www.gabbiberkow.com. That's GABBIBERKOW.com. My website provides a comprehensive overview and background about all of the services that I provide, and my story, and my philosophy and my approach. Anybody can call me. My phone number, my address, or my office address are on my website. You can also email me anytime. My email is Gabbi, Gabbi, at Gabbi Berkow. That's GABBIBERKOW.com. I check my phone and my email all the time. So so if somebody is interested in working with me, they would just reach out via email or via phone. I'll respond as soon as possible. And we set up a complimentary 15-20 minute chat on the phone, or if phone isn't an option, I can set everything up via email, but for me to learn a little bit more about the person and what they're struggling with and what their goals are, and then we'll chat about how I can help them get from where they are now, kind of in what they're frustrated or struggling with, to where they want to be. And then we'll go ahead and set up an initial consultation, for which I like to allow 2 hours. And during the initial consultation, I'll learn more about a person's background and what brought them in to seek out a nutritionist or a personal trainer or help with nutrition, exercise, their health and medical history, any health conditions that they have, any digestive symptoms, any abnormalities in their blood work, like high cholesterol or high blood sugar, or a slowed thyroid gland, or a low vitamin D or a nutrient deficiency. We'll go over all of that. And then I provide personalized nutrition and exercise education and recommendations, as well as supplement recommendations. for the person to achieve their goals. So I'll basically teach them about the nutrition and the exercise interventions that they need to get from what they're struggling with to where they want to be. So for example, to lose weight and build muscle tone is a very common goal that clients approach me with. So I'll tell them kind of how to do that nutritionally and or what's required, what nutrition and exercise interventions are required for that. And then we talk through what I call a personalized meal plan template. So I will teach clients about your healthy food sources and your serving sizes of carbohydrates, protein, and how to get enough protein, and fats, and how to put them together into meals and snacks that keep a person full, keep your blood sugar stable, keep a steady stream of protein going to your muscles so you can see muscle tone and see results from your workouts, keep you full, keep your energy up throughout the day, and prevent cravings or any kind of issues with overeating. So I kind of give people a formula for combining your macronutrients, your carbohydrates, proteins, and fats at every meal and snack. And then we come up with sample options for each meal and snack. And those options are tailored to a person's likes, dislikes, any food allergies or intolerances, how much time they have to cook, what cooking equipment they do or do not have access to, preferred meal preparation methods, etc. So by the end of the first session, a new client will get all the recommendations that we talk about for nutrition, for exercise, for supplements. I do provide my clients with a 15% discount on high quality supplements, so they can be sure they're not getting supplements with any additives or chemicals or anything. As well as the personalized meal plan template with kind of the formula for building meals and snacks and the sample options for them, a shopping list with Amazon.com links so they can just very easily, click and order online what they need to, tips for saving time with batch cooking and tips for eating out. So my style and the meal plans that I do are not quick fix restrictive diets. I take much more of a nutrition education, lifestyle change approach. I focus on teaching people not only what to eat, but how to combine foods in a way that will help them stabilize their blood sugar and build muscle tone and achieve their goals. And then we come up with sample options for each meal and snack, but that's really just a starting point. My goal is to empower clients with the knowledge and the skills and the behaviors and the tools to confidently build meals and snacks and eat throughout the day in a way that will help them achieve results, but also keep those results. And then I can also develop a personalized fitness program for a client. I'm happy to, I do provide a picture and instructions for each exercise in charts, but I'm also happy to review form either in person if the person is local to New York and if it's safe, or via Zoom. And then I do offer in-person or virtual personal training and Pilates sessions as well. Then I follow up with my clients about every 2 to 3 weeks or so, can be more or less frequently, depending on what works best for a person, just to check in and see how they're doing and discuss any challenges or obstacles that have come up and just ensure they're on the path to continued success. And I do offer my clients unlimited access to me between sessions. So if a question or something arises, they can always text me or email me, and happy to help.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
So is there any illnesses or health risks people can prevent through eating more plants and less meat, dairy, and eggs?
Absolutely. Many illnesses and health conditions can be prevented by focusing on more plant-based foods and less animal products. Cancer is a big one. Cardiovascular disease, things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, strokes, which often result from high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, kidney disease often results from high blood pressure as well. Inflammatory diseases like gout and arthritis, osteoporosis, a lot of acid in red meat can kind of corrode your bones, and eye issues like macular degeneration and cataracts. The antioxidants in plant-based foods like fruits and vegetables can help with vision and eyesight. And a lot, often animal products like red meat, full fat dairy, cream, etc., are high in what's called saturated fat, which raises the levels of your LDL, or the bad cholesterol, in your blood. So there's more cholesterol in your blood that can increase your risk of a heart attack or a stroke, because your blood can't flow as smoothly. Raise your blood pressure. A lot of salt is often added to animal products, which can, particularly like red meats and processed red meats, that can, high blood pressure can raise risk of stroke and kidney disease. And certain ways of cooking meats, or processed deli meats, often have nitrates or nitrites added to them, and that can increase cancer risk as well. So a lot of health benefits.
That's a lot more than I thought. So when people who've gone vegan, who've dealt with you, what was the number one nutrient you realized they were lacking, and how can they replace it once they go vegan?
Great question. So I've worked with a ton of vegan clients, and I'm very supportive of a client's preferred eating regimen. Particularly if it's for ethical or morality reasons. If a client wants to stay vegan or vegetarian or dairy free, for animal rights purposes, like, I will work with them on that. The number one nutrient, a couple nutrients come to mind for vegans. Number one is iron. Iron is a really important nutrient, and the richest source of iron is animal proteins, like red meat and chicken and turkey and fish. Iron is essential for energy, because iron is what binds and carries oxygen on hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the protein in your red blood cells, and oxygen is needed for your cells to produce ATP, or produce energy. So because vegans don't eat any animal products, they can often be low in iron, which results in low energy. That's a particularly important consideration for women, because women lose iron every month in blood via the menstrual cycle. Calcium is also a very important nutrient to consider for vegans. The richest source of calcium is dairy. So looking at, non-dairy alternatives, like dairy substitutes, non-dairy milks like almond milk, flax milk, as well as non-dairy yogurts, things like fermented tofu are a good source of calcium, almonds. A few other nutrients that are important to consider is protein in general is an important consideration for a vegan, making sure to get enough protein and choosing vegan products that are high in protein, with ideally 20 grams of protein per serving. Vitamin B12, that's also rich in animal proteins and is important for energy metabolism and cognitive functioning. Whole grains are a good source of vitamin B12. And for vegans, they can find iron in things like vegan products like high protein veggie burgers, or high protein vegan sausages, as well as beans and legumes. And for plant-based sources of iron for a vegan, it's best to pair them with vitamin C, because vitamin C enhances iron absorption. And vitamin C is basically found in any brightly colored fruits or vegetables. So pairing your vegan iron source with vitamin C is always a good idea. Vitamin D is also an important one, not just for vegans, but for everybody. We all need to supplement with vitamin D, also we're deficient, and also omega-3s. Omega-3s are the fatty acids that are found in fish that have a variety of health benefits, like they help your blood just flow smoothly through your arteries and veins. They're very good for your brain cognition and reducing anxiety and depression. 60% of your brain is made from omega-3 fatty acids. So what I recommend for vegans is focusing on plant-based foods that are high in omega-3s, like chia seeds and ground flaxseed and walnuts, and also taking an algae-based omega-3 supplement.
Okay. All right. The next two questions you've already answered. For those who do not feel safe leaving their homes, you have phone and online services.
Yes.
What you mentioned.
Yes, I can do everything online. I do have an office on the Upper West Side. If somebody does want to meet in person, I do have a very advanced body composition scale in my office. If that's, if somebody is interested in looking at, like exactly how much fat they have and where, and how their muscle is distributed between their limbs and their arms, their limbs and their trunk. But that's really not necessary for most people, and to optimize everybody's safety, I can do everything virtually. And something I should mention for vegans, to ensure that you get all the nutrients you need on a vegan diet or eating regimen, supplementation is really, really important. Taking a good vegan multivitamin, DEVA, DEVA makes a good one, an algae-based omega-3, vitamin D, I make sure it's in the form of ideally vitamin D3, a probiotic, which are the good bacteria in your gut that are really important for digestion and immunity, which is really important right now, and possibly an iron and or B12 supplement if blood work shows deficiencies. There are some good vegan food brands that I often recommend to my clients that are high in protein and nutrients. For vegan meat substitutes that are high in protein, like veggie burgers and sausages and things like that. Beyond Meat, Impossible Burger, Field Roast, and Trader Joe's high protein veggie burgers are really good options. Firm tofu and edamame, tempeh and seitan are really good natural protein options. You can also do protein supplements like OWYN shakes. OWYN stands for only what you need. It's OWYN. Those are a great quick source of protein, 20 grams of protein per bottle, which 20 grams is the minimum amount of protein you need to keep muscle building going. Vegan protein powders like Vega, Garden of Life, Blue Bonnet, Orgain, Pea Protein, Vega Sport are all good options. And then dairy substitutes for your calcium, like Kite Hill makes a Greek-style almond milk-based yogurt that has 11 grams of protein per serving, which is a good option. Siggy's has come out with a plant-based yogurt, 15 grams of protein per cup. And then your other vegan, non-dairy substitute brands that really don't have protein but are a good source of calcium, things like non-dairy milks, almond milk, Good Karma flax milk, coconut milk, Ripple pea protein milk, Dia makes vegan cheese, Forager makes cashew milk and cashew yogurts, Silk, So Delicious coconut yogurt, or any other vegan cheeses, or all good food brands.
A lot of options.
Lots of options. You just have to know what to look for.
Okay, and last question, what is the address of the location of your office?
Great question. So my office is on the Upper West Side in Manhattan. It's on 72nd Street between Columbus and Amsterdam Avenues. My office address is 133 West 72nd Street, Suite 703, New York, 10023. And the personal training studio and the Pilates studio that I use, which are both private, so it'd be just me and the client, are on that same block as well, right at 72nd in Columbus.
Okay, well, I thank you for your time. And
thank you so much for having me, Casey. I really appreciate it.
That is all the time we have for you today for this episode of Healthy and Wealthy Conversations. I want to thank our guest, Gabbi Berkow, for stopping on by and sharing. And of course, you, the audience, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.